Welcome to What's Your Skroove, where we tell stories, share experiences, and get inside the minds of artists, athletes, creators, and musicians. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of What's Your Skroove. We're back.
It has been a while.
How long has it been?
I don't know. We should have looked.
Was it Felicia Fullwood last?
Well, no.
Andrew?
It was Andrew Potvin. Before that was Brett and Brian, and then I think Felicia. But I was thinking it's been a while since you and I have done a show together.
Before we moved down here.
Over 3 months.
Over 3 months.
It's
We're back.
Been a long time. That's over 90 days for you mathematicians.
Give or take, because not every day has 30 days.
Which is about 3 months. Bringing that full circle for you.
Actually, it's been almost 3.5 months now.
That is a long time.
It's probably been at least 100 days.
That's almost half a year.
What?
half of a year.
Before they changed
a quarter of a year.
Before they changed the calendar and added June and July, which is why Octo 8. It was the 8th month originally. I think it was June and July.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know. One of those stupid things that you retain.
Really?
Yeah. That's.
When did they add June and July?
I don't know. What Greek? It's like June and July. Who is it?
I was gonna say June and July sound like Greek people. They added them in.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the Greeks, but that's why October, something like that. Somebody can fact check.
Really?
Me. Yeah.
There's 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like thousands of years ago.
I don't even know the timeline. I can't begin to estimate because I'll be way off.
Jarvis, look that up for us. We have an intern now.
We've been talking about getting an intern for so long. They would have to live on campus though, like on the premises.
On campus, on Apple's campus.
Yeah.
One infinite loop drive, whatever it's called.
They'd have to live on campus and sleep on a couch because we don't have any more beds.
Or a hammock.
Actually,
or the van.
No, that's our guest room. That's not for our interns. What we could get is one of those beds that fall down from the wall. We can stick
Hey Arnold?
Yeah, we could stick it. No, that one like flipped back. I'm talking about like the one that like actually folds up into the wall.
In that one episode of Sweet Life of Zach and Cody?
Jackie's apartment had one. In Grand Rapids,
Oh, yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And we could put it where the closet is.
Or
Air
inflatable
mattress.
couch.
Both of which are inflatable.
We should get an inflatable.
We're on the same. Oh, that'd be so
Can you
weird.
imagine?
It would double as a river tube. You go rafting. Can I bring my couch?
You go skiing behind a boat, put a couple skis under the bottom of it.
Remember, were you with me that one time? We were on Littlefield Lake and we saw that
Picnic table
with
Yeah.
skis on the bottom of it.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh,
All right.
we need to do that.
Anywho,
yeah. So
enough of us
episode 22.
rambling. But yeah, episode 22, we're bringing it
If
back.
you just
though.
heard that sip, by the way, I know that was right by the mic. I brought everything under the sun to drink. I have coffee, water, and a beer. I just couldn't decide.
And we will not tell you what time it is.
Okay, we will not tell. I couldn't decide. But
It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
on a Sunday. No, this is being filmed on a Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to release it tomorrow. But we're bringing back the weekly podcast.
We want to do it every week. And
with
then
you and
anything on top of that would probably be additional. So like we'll have
Still
our
have
show.
guests and everything.
Yeah, we'll have our show. We're still trying to straighten out the theme and the kind of the format of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll kind of keep evolving. But then we'll still have the traditional What's Your Skroove episodes where we bring on artists, athletes, creators, and musicians and interview them and get their story.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and obviously there are people above us. So if you hear like
Roommates, if you will.
yeah, roommates. So you can. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to hear the like cracks and stuff of people walking, but if it is, we'll adjust next time and put a higher low cut filter on it. So bear with us this show. But anyway, yeah, episode 22. It's great to be back.
And yeah, like I said, you can expect this weekly. We're stoked. I like doing these shows with you and I. It's fun.
And thank you to everybody who's been bugging us, me, Kenny, saying, "Hey, where's the podcast?" Yeah. Saying, "Hey, where's the podcast?" People have been asking about it and they missed it. So lo and behold,
So here it is.
we're bringing it back.
Bow.
So, first thing, we want to start implementing a segment where we talk a little bit about something that we've discovered recently, whether it's something we've watched, read, heard, or bought that, whether it's affected us in any way or a lifestyle, little quirks.
Something to kind of bring value to the people.
Yeah,
right?
or
something kind of interesting.
Something that's brought value to us. People might find it interesting, might not.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah, we don't have a name for this segment yet, but yeah, so I'll start us off. One thing that I really love is Discover Weekly on Spotify. So I don't know if I love my music. I love listening to music. I love finding new music. I always have music going on whenever I'm working. But on Spotify, I pay for Spotify Premium, which I highly recommend. Have access
much
to
is that?
every song. I think it's originally like $15 a month, but I had it for a year. So around Christmas time, like when I got my membership, they gave me a deal for a year for $100, $99. So it's like $10 a month.
Well, that'd be less than
Or
$10.
less than $10.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it might be $12.
I thought it was like
originally.
$15 a month. So that's a good deal.
Originally, it is. Yeah,
That's a good deal.
So yeah, I'm paying like $100 a year, which I think it's totally worth it to have access to all the songs. But one of my favorite features about Spotify is every Monday they come out with a playlist called Discover Weekly.
Right.
And it's like 20 to 30 songs that you haven't heard before. That's kind of
It's based off what you've been listening to, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're listening to like a lot of rap or a lot of like indie or folk music, it'll like pick songs that it thinks that you would like that's kind of in that genre. So it plays a lot of like I find like numerous songs.
And it does a damn good job.
Yeah, it really does. It's there could be a week where there's like not really a song I like on there, but for the majority of the time, there's like 1 to 5 songs that I'll take away from there that I
download them and put them in your
that I really enjoy.
Played.
So I think that's one of the coolest things. I find a lot of just like smaller, obscure artists that you'd never really have the chance to know exist through like Discover Weekly.
So compared to that, I mean, there's a few when it comes to like the music industry, like streaming. I mean, I have Apple Music, and that's a feature they haven't really nailed down. I guess since you're talking about it, we'll talk comparatively because I know people ask us all the time. Like, oh, what do you use? And I use Apple Music, and you use Spotify.
Yeah, I love Spotify.
Apple Music, I pay $5 a month, but I think it's because I still have my like SVSU email on my Apple account, and it hasn't like kicked it off. But I think it's normally $10, so I'm getting a deal there. But they have like a For You section on your phone, but it's not as good as Discover Weekly. I don't even really pay attention to it.
Really?
Because I've used Discover Weekly. I had Spotify at one time, and I still use it on my desktop, which brings me to the next point, is like the interface of the desktop interface. I have Apple Music, but I don't even use my iTunes on my desktop. I use Spotify on desktop because it's that much better. So Apple Music doesn't really have a good equivalent when it comes to a desktop experience.
Yeah, the app is awesome. I love just the functionality of the app and the desktop app too.
And anybody who
It's
knows
so
me, I'm
cool.
like a diehard Apple fan, and I've always said like, Apple. I use Apple Music, but if I didn't have like all these Apple devices, I would probably use Spotify just because I think it's a little bit better of a streaming service right now. And now that I lost my Apple Watch, I haven't decided if I'm going to replace it yet. I'm testing out. You can check the vlog episode where I talk about the watches. I compare them. I'm testing out the Garmin Forerunner 235. The biggest part of having Apple Music was it worked so well with the Apple Watch. It syncs so well, and you can control
Did you
it
ever
all.
try Spotify?
No, I didn't. But they do have an app, I think. But I believe I looked into it, and people are like, it's really not optimized. Like, it works. It's
Why
just,
did it work so well?
So if you're on your phone, okay, let's say, honestly, this was one of the greatest features of the Apple Watch next to the fitness side. Let's say you're doing anything, you have your music playing on a speaker. I mean, when I'm at home, I don't know about a lot of people. I don't keep my phone in my pocket. It's usually just on my desk or whatever. So let's say you're streaming music through a speaker, or you're having people over and you're playing music. You can control the volume, choose the song. It's literally a remote for your phone. Or a big thing for me, ironically, on a lake before I lost it in the lake, was that you could let's say like we'd always have our phone plugged into or streaming Bluetooth. Do you just leave your phone on the boat? You don't want your phone on the lake. I could be in the water. We can playing catch or football or whatever, and control the volume and the songs that we're on. So that interface was like a seamless marriage of that software with.
You couldn't do that with Spotify?
From what I never tried, but I've heard it's not as good. And you could save music directly. You could save like up to 5 gigs of music directly to your watch through Apple Music.
Oh, wow.
So when you go for a run or go to the
a lot of
gym,
music.
you know how annoying it is when you go to the gym
Yeah.
and you have your phone in your pocket or you have to keep track of it. I really hate that.
Yeah.
Or going for a run, it's all on your. And now, if you have the 3G watch, you don't need that at all. You could with Apple Music play any song at any time as long as you have phone service.
Yeah.
But if I like this watch as much as the Apple Watch and I don't decide it's worth spending the money again, when my Apple Music subscription's up, there's a very large possibility I switch over to Spotify, which is weird for me because you and most people who know me know I'm diehard about my Apple products, but I don't know that the added value of sticking with that brand is worth the. what
Yeah.
you get out of it. And I guess they do these like package plans now.
Oh yeah, like I'm
For,
pretty
like, not
sure
that
if
much
you
more.
if you have it, if you get it, you get a family plan and it's like $15 a month, and you can have like 4 to 5 or 6, 7 people on it.
Right, but even just between the two of us,
Yeah.
it'd be instead of me paying $10 a month,
You
you
already
paying
save
$10,
money.
You save money,
Yeah.
and it's simplified. It's all under one account. So I think that was an excellent point because Discover Weekly was something you showed me, and
I look forward to that
love
every
it.
Monday.
I love it, and
it's
I don't
so
use it as
cool.
much as you do because I don't have it on mobile, but it's a great service.
I mean-
and Apple Music does. I don't know how they don't have anything like that yet.
Yeah.
that is good.
It's phenomenal. Like every time I get in the car, even if it's like a 2-minute, 5-minute drive, I'm throwing on my Spotify and playing music because I just love it that much. And Discover Weekly has turned me on to probably
Artists.
over 100 new artists and songs that
Yeah.
I never would have found before.
Yeah.
So I think that's super cool. And a cool thing, like you're talking about the like the interface and the functionality of it, like the desktop app is cool. The phone app is really well just set up. It's super intuitive to use. I always listen to it on Xbox, so I'll stream
Yeah.
music in the back, and it's like
I do that
it
also.
updates
Yeah.
instantly. So if I add a song to a playlist, it's on my Xbox instantly. I can control it from my phone if I want to change songs or my laptop, and I can play that in the background of playing Fortnite.
Right. If you have like your
that.
headphones on, you can put music and control the music volume compared to the game and chat volume. So you can have like, I'll do it really quiet or at the beginning of a game when it's not that intense, just really quiet music. And it's cool.
It is.
And it's through Spotify. Because
Yeah,
Apple Music
there's
doesn't
a
offer that.
Oh,
obviously. Well, I mean, it's a
Oh yeah,
Microsoft product.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I can do that. What I like doing too is falling asleep with that.
Yeah.
Because I have my phone, like which is my alarm, and I have it over there away from my bed, and I don't want it to go through my speaker, the music. So I'll turn on my TV and my Xbox and play
Nice.
a playlist just through my TV
That's smart.
and fall asleep to music that way.
It's really surprising to me that Apple Music isn't on the same tier as Spotify Music when you have to think that really revived Apple was the iPod and iTunes. When Steve Jobs was fired, then brought back, like, PC sales were down. I mean, most people even say they're not even a computer company. They're obviously the iPhone, they're a mobile phone company. But the media was really what brought them back to life, and that they're not.
Yeah, but you have to think though, like they've been playing catch up in that industry for quite some time. Because before Spotify, I did Pandora.
Yeah.
24/7.
Because who wanted to pay $1 a song?
Yeah, I did.
Which we did for our favorite songs.
Yeah, which I hated doing. But
that.
I would do Pandora, and I didn't pay for Pandora. But I would have that going all the time, and I would reach the listen limit.
yeah.
Like monthly, I think it's 40 hours a month, a lot on Pandora. So
Discover Weekly is basically souped up Pandora too.
Well, yeah, but it updates once a week. But they have like a Pandora version.
Yeah.
They can listen to like Chet Faker
everybody
radio.
does that. Yeah, Apple Music has that.
And then what
now.
they have, which is really cool, is a daily mix, and they have like 8 playlists that'll curate for you. It's like, all right, if you like Arctic Monkeys and the Black Keys, it'll play Arctic Monkeys and Black Keys songs that you like and mix in other artists you haven't heard of into that playlist. So it's super cool for just finding new music.
I'm gonna put a call to action out there for Apple or anybody. Back in the day, I remember they released a feature that I thought was really cool and had legs, and it's kind of everything we're talking about. It's called Genius, and people might say, "Well, just use Pandora or Discover Weekly." What you're saying, but they don't have it, so it works the way I would like, and I think a lot of people would like. I think, and I don't know if this is originally what it was, but let's say like
I feel like it was like the Discover, like it knew what kind of music you like.
Yeah, but it was more on the spot. So like the way I listen to music, I really don't turn on a song. I'm not like, oh, I want to hear a song. If I'm getting in the shower or going for a drive or need background noise, I just go to my library and hit shuffle. I just keep going until I find a song I want to hear. And then I hear a song and I'm like, oh, I want to hear more stuff like that. Not necessarily by that art. And I don't want to dig and set it all up. I'm just too lazy. I wish you could hit the Genius button, which was a thing. And then it just continues to spit out songs in and out of your library that have this same style as that song. Why that's not an option, I don't know. Because I would literally utilize it. You know when you're going through shuffle and a song comes on, you're like, I love that.
Yeah.
You're like, I'd like to hear more stuff like
that's
that.
what I'm vibing. That's what I'm feeling right now.
Like, it's more about mood than anything.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they should call it, is mood.
Yeah.
Spotify wants to.
Yeah.
And then you just hit it, and it keeps. And then you can just, because you have premium, just keep skipping until you find one. And then you discover new music, and you can keep that mood. Yeah, mood is exactly what I'm referring to. So yeah, I mean, music.
Getting back to my point, but it's like Pandora was doing well, and then Spotify came along and stole me from Pandora. But I listened to the iTunes music a little bit when it was free. I think we had it free for 3 months.
Right when it came out, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like it as much. And I listened to Pandora over that. And then when Spotify came, I was like, this is awesome.
Right when it came out, it was so awful. The interface was bad. Now it is actually really nice and smooth, but it was bad for a long time, which pains me to say, but I try and be as objective as possible.
So if you have Spotify, go to Discover and then Discover Weekly on Monday. It'll update it for you, and it's just a great way to find
and
new
save
music.
the songs if you find ones you like, right? Because they're gone after that, correct?
Yeah, next Monday
So save them if you find one you like.
Absolutely.
Good. Moving on.
Yeah. What about
Anything
you?
else? So obviously this is something just big going on in the world right now, but I find myself caught up in the realm of it is Twitch, and it's not something that I always kind of knew what it was, but I didn't really understand it. And I have like Twitch Prime because I have Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So because Amazon owns Twitch, so I kind of
Did Amazon start Twitch or buy
they
it?
bought them, as far as I know.
How long ago do you think?
I don't know, but whatever they
Way too
paid,
early?
they probably could have paid 5 times as much, and it still would have been worth
Twitch
it.
sold way too early.
I mean, like look at Instagram. But
But do you think Twitch would be what it is without Amazon?
yeah, oh yeah, dude, it's a storm. It's yeah, I truly do. But now I got the Twitch Prime, which kind of you get for free basically. So it kind of inspired me to check it out. And for those of you that don't know, I'm sure most people know, Twitch is a streaming service for people who play games, video games. So let's say like Fortnite is obviously like one of the biggest games on the planet right now. They just hit 125 million users. I don't know if that's daily active users. That's probably monthly. That's incredible. I mean, that's unlike any precedented game that I can think of. 125 million users, and that's what all the clips on the internet are about. And there's clips of us playing it. It's a fun game. But there's these professionals who get on Twitch and they stream, and the people who have their nice setups have a video of them streaming, and you can hear them talking, and the guys they're playing with, you can hear them talking, and you can watch them play. And it's becoming this huge phenomenon of it's like turning on like college basketball. Like seriously, like people like, and I have found myself, because I like to play Fortnite, and I find myself, I like background noise when I work. And sometimes music, if I don't want music, I like to have something on my TV playing. But like I get distracted easily by movies because I love movies so much. And I don't have TV, and I'm not going to put a TV show on Netflix. For me, I love putting on these really good Fortnite players sometimes, occasionally, on my background, on my TV. They're playing games. And you can, when you can look up or you hear something, or like there's 5 guys left, and you can look and check them out. And you can see strategies on how they play better and implement them. But it's highly entertaining. It's not really about watching the gameplay. It's about the people who have really good personalities and are really entertaining to watch and hear their commentary and goofing around and be really relatable. And you have people making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars a year because I'm going to explain it the best that I understand it. I haven't really looked into it, but it's like you can pay to subscribe to a streamer. So like, let's say you really like this person.
Ninja. It's like one of the biggest ones.
One of the biggest ones. Let's say you really like his streams. I believe, because I get one free one with Amazon Prime, and I've subscribed to, I think, Stone Mountain 64. It's a really funny guy. You pay $5 a month, and that goes to the streamer, and with that you get like direct access to them. I think you can like message them and stuff. And you can make donations. I don't really understand it, but the point is, you look at somebody, if somebody has, let's say, 100,000 subscribers, they're making minimum of like $500,000 a year.
A month?
Or a month. I'm sorry, a month playing the game. I'm sure Twitch takes a cut of that, so call it $250,000. $250,000 a month just sitting there playing games. And some people, it's mostly people who are really good, but it's also people who have really good personalities, and people just want to watch them goof around and play with their friends. So I've been really interested in that, and it's just so fascinating to watch as this is becoming mainstream. I even saw ESPN.
Yeah.
You showed me, right?
Yeah.
Put like a clip of people playing Rocket League, which is like a game. I've only played it once. I played
It's
like the
like
Microsoft
soccer,
store. Yeah, it's like
but you have, like,
soccer with like
cars.
race cars, and you knock a big soccer ball around. ESPN put out a video of it.
I mean, professional gaming is getting huge.
I mean, it's always been huge, but it's getting so mainstream. When somebody ESPN pumps it out, that's huge. So I don't know if I watch it because I do like it, but I'm also like hypnotized by how cool it is. You have these people who do, because what's our brand about? People who do what they're passionate about. And how many people come up to say us and we say, hey, what do you want to do? And they say something and go, but you can't make a living. And they say, well, I can't make a living doing that. And usually it's travel or paint or, oh, I'd love to play video games for a living. And now through this
you could be a millionaire.
yeah.
I mean, if you're good enough, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can make a living playing video games.
Or, I mean, let's say you get 2 subscribers a month. You know what I mean? Like, and you're playing games anyway. That's just an extra money in your pocket, and then that'll grow. It's a way to monetize your passion and your hustle. And I'm super I think that is so cool, and I think that that's going to diversify. It's kind of like, I think, what like Patreon is kind of doing. It's allowing people to make money off their passion. Again, I don't really understand the service completely, and I don't want to get into the whole thing right now because we have other stuff to cover. But Patreon, basically, people pay for like exclusive content. So like musicians and photographers and videographers and models will have, if you pay certain amounts of money, and it's not that big, I think it's like $10-20 a month, you'll get access to their elite content. And I think they send you like swag and like prints of their shots and things like that. And if you pay $20 a month, you get this. And if you pay, so it's exciting to me to see it's becoming easier and easier for people to make a living doing what they love. Yeah. And even if you have a 9 to 5 and you go to work and you come home, you can keep laying the groundwork for, you don't need to walk away from your job overnight. You know what I mean? You can start building this. Yeah. It's like building an Instagram following, but there's a more direct monetization. Obviously you can make money through Instagram and YouTube, but this is so direct.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Without ads. These people do have ads, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that
Twitch, super low barrier to entry.
So anybody can do it.
Yeah. And
I think that it's super cool, and I'm romanticized by the idea that people can make money doing this. I just think it's tremendous, and I think we grew up playing Xbox. I remember we got Xbox Live almost, I think the same year, the second year it was out. Like really early on. We had it really young.
I knew we had it a lot before a lot of other people did, but I didn't realize it was that soon to
maybe
Xbox
not
Live
that soon,
out.
but it was when it was like a real playable platform. Like we were playing Halo 2.
Yeah.
No. Before that we were playing Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
On Xbox
Did Halo
Live.
2 not come out yet?
I don't
or did we
think
just
so.
not have it?
I don't think it was out yet.
Really?
I don't know. But the
Well, I
point
remember
is,
playing Halo, having Halo parties.
and you didn't have Xboxes, or headsets. It was traditional Xbox controllers, and this was the Xbox 360. And we would like call our cousins.
Xbox.
Or yes, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Just
thank
Xbox.
You. That's what I meant. The normal black Xbox, the Xbox,
the first Xbox,
one.
yeah.
And we would call our cousins and talk on the phone because we didn't have. I don't think the headsets were an option right away, or we didn't have the right. Anyway, we've done this all
It's
the
like
way
2 in the
growing
morning.
up. Yeah,
It's just on the landlines.
oh man, yeah, it was always on the wireless one, so it would die, and you have to. But the point is, we've grown up always being semi-passionate about video games. They're just,
Just enjoy playing them.
Enjoy playing them, just like playing a game of pickup basketball or whatever. And it's so cool to me to see a generation with that opportunity of non-traditional work, and it's inspiring. So that's something that I like to put on in the background, And then you and our roommate Zach and Osher will be home, and sometimes it'll be on, and then we'll find ourselves, or we have a few times, everyone's in my room, and we're like, oh, watching this guy play.
Yeah, it's
like, what are we
entertaining.
doing?
I mean, we were at the bar the other night. We were like, regular season baseball is on, and I just can't watch regular season baseball. I think it's so boring. It's like, this is so boring to watch. And then Tyler pulled up like Twitch on his phone, and we were sitting at the bar watching that.
Because it was, we're here, so we're going to talk about it. Because it was the Pro-Am. They just did a Pro-Am. They took 50, I think it was 50 pros, and paired them with 50 like celebrities.
Yeah, that's why we watched it.
Yeah.
But it was
normally we don't watch
me,
Twitch at the bar,
yeah,
but yeah.
To me, it was more entertaining than watching baseball.
100%.
While we were waiting for trivia night.
So you have this guy from Michigan, something Mert, I can't remember his name. He was playing with Andre Drummond. And so you have a professional basketball player playing this video game live in a 50v50 tournament. Marshmello had the DJ was in it, and Reggie Jackson, Piston, was in it.
Oh,
all
he?
these celebrities are. I mean, this is how big of a deal this is getting. I think it's just so interesting. They did a Pro-Am. You know what I mean?
Well, they had
How
a
cool is
concert,
that?
and like Logic and DJ Khaled performed at it.
Oh yeah,
for that event.
It's incredible, and I think one of the big mainstream tipping points for Twitch was when Ninja played with Drake, Travis,
just
and
recently, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith.
Yeah,
that was like within the last couple months.
Yeah,
and I think that's what brought Twitch into the. I'm not saying it wasn't big before that; it was big in the gaming community, and that's what
Professional gamers playing with Drake, a huge rapper, and I think 2 NFL players.
Yeah, and Drake was like, "Oh," to his buddy Ninja, who's one of the best in the world. "Hey, if you win this, I'm going to donate $5,000 through Twitch to you right now." And Ninja won it. He goes, "Yeah, I'm good for it." And he sent him $5,000, just like that. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, this might not be things anybody cares about, but if you take something away from this bigger picture, it's that. I'm going to tie this full circle to the podcast. It's that there's no shortage of, you can make all these excuses to do what you want in the world, but it's becoming easier and easier and easier to do it, and there's less room for excuses now more than ever. Like
to do what you love. Yeah.
To do what you love and not have us. And people are like, "Oh, I just can't walk away from my job." Well, platforms like that allow you to.
Oh yeah. Come home
work
for a couple hours.
I'm not telling you to
build
stop
a brand,
paying your bills and go
build a
bankrupt.
following.
Exactly. And you're doing it. If you're playing Xbox anyway, just start doing it.
Yeah.
And like that's one other thing is when we did the live shows, one of the most frequently asked questions we got was, "What's your guys' Fortnite Epic Games username, Xbox Live gamer tag?" People wanted to play with us. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we're not looking to build like a Twitch stream following, but we think it would be fun to give you, the listeners, a chance to play with us. Not that we're very good, but it would be fun. Play with us, and we'll stream it live on Twitch, and you can co-stream so you can hear what you guys are saying, and there'll be more content for our audience. Give you guys a chance to play with us live on Twitch. We have to set up a Twitch account and everything, but
That'd be cool.
So if that's something you guys want to do, let us know.
Yeah, because we play Fortnite on the reg.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sweet. All right, so I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
yeah. Do we want to restart anything?
I mean, yeah, we can if we want, because we'll probably be on this for a little bit.
Okay, all right. You want to get it?
Yeah, just restart the camera.
Yeah.
Just keep talking.
Do. We're still here, guys. Hang on. Time for the sound effect. Onto a beer.
So, yes, address the elephant in the room, which will be the title of this podcast, I believe. But we moved to Ferndale.
Yes.
Ferndale, Michigan, right next to Royal Oak, like 15 minutes from downtown Detroit, right on 9 Mile.
It's Metro Detroit, And just side note, that's why I ended up switching. If you watched the vlog, Skroove Tube, I ended up saying Detroit in the beginning because we traveled from like Royal Oak to Ferndale to, Madison Heights to all these surrounding areas so often. It was just like, we're just calling it Detroit. You know what I mean? Because it basically is. But go ahead.
Yeah, so we moved down here. We moved down here March 1st. I think it was actually like February 28th was our first night down here. But we came down here, and we've been down here for a little over March, April, May, June. 3 months.
3.5 months.
Yeah, what's the date today? 14th?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, over about 3.5 months, and we're loving it. We're having a great time, meeting a lot of cool people, going to just a lot of different bars, having a lot of different experiences.
There's so much to do down here.
Yeah, just enjoying ourselves. We're living close to, Brett and Brian that we did a podcast with.
Yeah, and Brett just got a new house. He's 2 miles from us now?
Yeah, yep.
So,
the girls that we went to SVSU with. So, I mean, we're just having a great time. We're loving it.
yeah,
Right downtown Ferndale, like we can walk to all the bars, ride our bikes to all the bars, and it's just, it's awesome being down in this environment and growing Skroove, growing the brand and meeting people.
Yeah. So it's been a busy 3 months. We've just been everywhere doing everything, trying to dabble and taste as much as we can. And obviously the 60 seconds and the vlog are really good if you hear something we're talking about specifically, because we're going to go through a quick little, I mean, we want to recap some of the big events and different things we've done over the past 3 months.
with a broom.
Oh, we should get a broomstick. Hey! So we're going to review these things and just talk about some of our personal highlights. And if you hear something you like, all the vlog titles probably have it in the title if it's noteworthy to talking about. So you can go back to SkrooveTube playlist and go watch a video of basically probably anything we talk about. But
Yeah.
you want to get started?
Yeah, so I just
This
wanted,
will not be chronological because I didn't write them down chronological. I just
no,
made some
what I kind of
notes.
wrote down was just some of my favorite things about living down here. Because we've been down here for 3 months now, and we've got a good feel for the area.
Yeah.
We have a decent amount of bars, our favorite bars that we go to. So just a couple of, my favorite things is, obviously I love being within walking distance, riding bike distance of
That's been a dream of mine.
every bar.
Forever.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to walk to a bar.
Have a sidewalk right out front of your house.
And it's not the idea of, oh, you don't have to drive or get an Uber, like it's bigger than that. I just think it's so cool. The process of walking or riding your bike to the bar, it's so like
Local. Yeah.
That's the word I needed. I couldn't come up. It's so local and it's so real and fun. And yeah, like you're saying, the sidewalk.
Like this morning, I went and took a couple-mile run, go outside of our house, and run on the sidewalk, and then run downtown Ferndale past all the restaurants.
You get that city
and
energy
places that we go to
when you're running.
It's
I
so,
love running downtown.
Yeah, it's so cool. And you get to walk past, you get to run past all of that and walk and ride your bike to it, and it's within a mile of our house.
I mean, the best part of
I
our
think it's
house
so
is
sweet.
obviously the covered porch.
Yeah, I had
We have
that written down.
Huge covered
The
porch.
stoop.
Go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, no, I love the stoop. We have a decent sized stoop, and it's a great place now that it's summertime. I was so stoked for the weather to get nice. Sit out there, have some beers, and just kick it. Listen to
And
music.
when it's raining, like you could still be outside and have a few beers, and you're covered and dry. And yeah, I mean, our house is such a great location. We got so lucky on it, and I don't know. It really is a dream come true. Obviously, we're not
Yes, it is.
stopping. It's not like, oh well, we're out of the house.
It was a big goal of ours.
It was a big goal of ours, but it's not like we're out of the house. We've made it. We're done. It's a little taste, and it's fueling the fire bigger. It's okay. What's next? But you got to take time to reflect on these things. It's a dream come true to think that we're out living on our own off of this thing that we built. It's just super humbling and exciting, and we're so excited to share it with everybody. And thanks to everybody who comes out and stops by and stays and parties with us, and all the housewarming gifts people have bought and brought and everything. We love having guests. It's so much fun. So
Yeah, that's what I had written down. What was what's some of your favorite memories so far?
okay, I wrote some stuff down. So this isn't directly related to Ferndale or the house. It's things just that have taken place since we moved. I have one we'll save because I think we'll talk about it
Okay.
for a while. So I'm going to go through some of the quick things first. Recently, we just ran one trivia night. So if you watch 60 seconds of the vlog, you'll know that happened. And that was just so much fun because like usually people go with big teams, and we went by ourselves and we won trivia night at one of our favorite bars, Jay's Penalty Box, right on Woodward, right by 9 Mile. And that was awesome. And we got a free gift card to go back there and blow at the bar.
I had a $25 gift card. Well, that's what I had. My favorite bars right now are Rosie's
for
and
sure.
Jay's Penalty Box.
Rosie's
I
and
love
Jay's.
Rosie's for their 250 like tall beers, PBR. They're awesome outdoor patio. It's big. It's fun. It's a cool place. It was the first bar we went to when we were down here. And then Penalty Box, which we've really grown to like. Janice is awesome there.
Yeah, she
and the
rocks.
staff is super cool. It's an awesome sports bar. They got a cool outside patio. But we went to trivia night like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Well, we were there one night to just talk about brand.
Yeah.
And get a beer, and we caught like the tail end of trivia, like, oh, they do trivia here. Remember?
Yeah. The first time we
Yeah,
went.
but we didn't play because we were there late. It was,
Oh, we
it was
didn't?
when the Star Wars question that I knew.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do trivia.
Yeah.
And then go ahead.
Yeah, we went back 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, and on Tuesdays they have 2 trivia sessions. One at like 8 and like 10:30.
9:30, I think.
9:30?
Yeah, 9:30.
So they have 2, and we came back for like the 10 o'clock 9:31 and got like 4th.
Well, we were in second the whole time, and then we botched the last round and got 4th.
Sarah,
cost
the
us
Baywatch
big
fiasco.
time. Baywatch fiasco. Look it up.
So yeah, we thought we got robbed. Like it was a 2-man team, and everybody has like you said, a
Big
group of
teams,
people.
yeah.
3 to 8 people,
More
10
minds
people.
on it.
So me and Tyler went back 2 days ago.
Yep.
And we said we're getting redemption.
Yep.
We're out for blood. We are hungry.
Yes.
And we get there, and we got our beer. We got our $3 tall Molson that they have there. That's their
Great
special.
deal.
And we're getting ready, and there's 5 rounds of this. First round's worth 1 point. Second round is 2 points, so on and so forth. We have a 60 seconds in a vlog about this, but we're battling back and forth between like first and third, and the 5th and final round. We got 2 out of 5 questions right, but we still ended up winning.
Right.
And we were so stoked.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It was awesome. It was like winning a victory royale.
Yeah.
It's like,
That was one of my favorite moments down here so far.
that was awesome. Cinco de Mayo was a blast. We did a bar crawl. We did the St. Practice Day bar crawl in Royal Oak.
That was fun.
And it's the weekend before St. Patrick's Day, and they call it St. Practice Day. That was a blast. Royal Oak's so great for bar crawls. They're just so intense there.
Yeah, they have a lot of them.
We've had some really fun mug nights.
O'Toole's.
It's actually Thursday today. O'Toole's does this thing. It's a bar in Royal Oak. I love this. More bars should get behind this.
Mm-hmm.
It's bring your own mug. Last time we were there, we saw a guy with like a Bubba keg, like
Yeah.
those huge trucker
Yeah.
mugs that are in the gas stations, and it's $2.
Yeah, $2.
$2,
Fills it up.
and they'll fill it up with like Labatt or Labatt Light
Yeah.
or like PBR, like decent beer. Like it's not like Natty's like we buy, but
And they
$2.
they sell plastic O'Toole's mugs that I want to say are like 24 ounces at least.
Yeah, at least.
They're probably 24 ounces.
Yeah,
Plastic mugs you get for $7. You keep it, fill it up for $2.
yeah, it's an incredible deal. They
Crazy.
have a live DJ, and it's a cool bar. So that's a cool experience we've done regularly. Opening day.
Ah, yeah.
I felt like
I forgot that we
as like a
yeah.
Detroiter, like that was so. We did it last year, but then then you leave. Like now that we're kind of a part of this culture in this city, I had a blast at opening day.
That was fun.
So we went Thursday. There is a vlog about this. It was a cool episode. I'd recommend if you're looking for one to watch, go watch that one. I don't know the number offhand. But we got down there, and it was pouring rain, and opening day actually got canceled. But all the tailgates still went on. So the party still went on. And we were down there with our friends Jason and Jackie, and it was just so much fun.
That was a good time.
This black mark on my thumb that's in every single vlog, like because you always see my hand, it's like a bruise under my fingernail, and it's because it was opening day. We were dancing and it was soaking wet, and I was drunk, obviously.
That was so funny.
And I tripped, slipped, and fell, and
You have it on
smashed-
video too.
Yeah, smashed my hand on the floor, and you can't see it, but I fell like this. So my phone was in my right hand or my right hand, and my left hand. So both my thumbs went under, and that's when that happened. And then I scratched my entire iPhone 10 screen and it was that like bumpy concrete,
the asphalt,
like the asphalt, like really rough stuff.
Yeah.
Scratched my whole screen across it, and it didn't break. Scratches only in the bottom corner. There's a little tiny scratch mark.
That's what the Sapphire screen gets you.
That should have shattered. So a little shout out to how tough those screens are. But that was a blast.
Yeah, that was a good time.
We got into some of those private tailgates where like it's free beer, free food. It was just a blast.
One of my favorite memories since being down here was our housewarming party. That was a blast.
I don't think a single person remembered that night.
No, we got a keg.
We had a keg Molson.
Yeah.
We love Molson.
Is that what we got?
Yep.
Yeah, Molson.
Because we got Pabst for your party.
Yeah, and it was a blast. We had a
we
great
planned
turnout,
on-
a lot of friends.
We planned on a handful of people showing up. Like it was kind of last minute, and we made a Facebook event, and a ton of people showed up, and
This was just a grade A good time.
it was a grade A good time. I think everybody was hurting the next day. I can't tell you the last time I've been that hungover after that
Yeah.
party. Do you remember?
That was a blast, dude.
Oh, I had to edit the vlog, and the screen was just moving still. and-
That's probably my favorite memory so far being down here was our housewarming party.
That was a blast. Little side note, I read this somewhere, and it was like, could you imagine how drunk and wild people would get if there was no such thing as a hangover? You would never stop.
It'd be ludicrous.
You go to the bar, you're like, that's the only thing that
You'd be an alcoholic.
oh, well, yeah, but like, think about it. Like, you go to the bar, and like, at some point, you're like, yeah, I got to get up tomorrow. So, like, you dial it back if you're going out to, like, really go crazy or whatever. Imagine if there's no hangover. The limits people would take it.
It'd be bad.
I'm actually thankful for hangovers.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent. There was that, and my birthday party. I mean, house parties. I love having house
Yeah,
parties.
they're the
I think
best.
they're a blast. We got a keg for that too. Couple of my favorite memories. I think those are just a great time having your friends over and just kicking it, because that way you can just interact and talk to people without the distraction of like a bar, and
Yeah.
I don't know, those were just fun to me. And I think it's probably because we have our house now and we can do that. No rules.
Woo woo! One of the other things that I love about our house is our dartboard, which our friend Jackie Lucido gave us. I love our dartboard. We haven't played in a while, but
we haven't, but it's
we've
gotten a lot of mileage.
Got a lot
out
of
of it.
mileage on it. Let me check my list.
So house parties, yeah, we're gonna try and do. One a month at least.
Okay, I got a few other things. We did the axe throwing.
Oh,
downtown
yeah,
Ferndale,
yeah.
there is a bar called Corner, and above it, is it Detroit X Throwing? Is that what it's called?
Detroit X, yeah.
Detroit X. And you can go,
This is so cool.
and there's videos of this, and drink. Excuse me.
I think it's like $20 for an hour.
I keep burping. Yeah, excuse me. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was $20 an hour, and you go and drink, and the guy teaches you how to throw axes, and you play all
Like
these
this
mini games.
dartboard, a wooden dartboard, kinda.
And they're more like they're a hatchet. Really.
Yeah.
It's not like a full axe. But yeah, and you drink and throw axes into it. It's so much fun. It's a blast.
Yeah, they have all these mini games.
Mm-hmm. It's
so
kind of like darts. Like they have the dart games like cricket and 301 stuff like that. And that was an absolute blast.
That was great, and that's walking distance from our place
it's
too,
right around the
which
corner.
is so cool. I love that.
Yep. Another thing, Kenny got a tattoo.
Yeah, I got a tattoo down here at Nine Lives Tattoo Shop.
They were awesome there.
Yeah, they were very cool.
Found one of my favorite breakfast places of all time. So two things I want to talk about is one, National Coney Island in Royal Oak. If you know anything about me, besides the fact I love Apple products, is I love, like, my favorite meal, eggs, bacon, sausage, slice of ham. And then if restaurants will sub hash browns for tomato slices.
Tomatoes for hash browns.
Yep. And yes, that. And then a hot cup of coffee and ice water. I love that. I love it. It's good for the soul. And National Coney Island for $8 all day. Some places.
It's called the Big Breakfast.
Yeah, I think so. Some places, like, they'll only offer like a deal like that in the morning, like before. No, all day, any day, $7.99. You get all that, and they will substitute the hash browns out, which a lot of places don't like to do. The wait staff is incredible. It's a nice diner feel, and it's one of my all-time favorite.
That's a great Sunday after party.
After a night of drinking, take your friends, take some of the guests. You go to Coney. I love that place. So if you're in the Royal Oak area, I recommend you go there. I mean, it's not like it's anything special. It's just, it's good, consistent, reliable, inexpensive.
We do like our National Coney Island.
Yep. And then the other thing that I like that we started, I think it was your idea or Brian's idea, is every Friday morning, which would be tomorrow.
This is a good idea.
We go to we wanted to go to like a small, really hometown diner. The four of us, we've been best friends forever. We went to elementary, middle, high school together, and they live right down the road from us still. They were on the podcast a few episodes ago, and by the way, if you want to laugh, you need to go listen to that episode. It was literally
20, I believe.
Yep, we were drinking, we were It was a laugh fest. There's pranks, there's jokes. It was anyway.
Yeah.
Every Friday we around 6:30.
6:30.
We go to Nikki's.
In the morning. Yeah.
Nikki's. Is it Nikki's Diner?
Nikki's. Nikki's in Royal Oak. Niki.
A little kind of a Greek diner joint.
Uh-huh.
The sweetest Greek lady is always working. She sees us coming. She knows we need coffee. She brings the mugs right out. She's on top of the refills, which I always talk about. I mean, you have this much coffee gone. She's giving you a warm up. I love that. Great. She's the sweetest lady. And we just sit there and shoot the shit for 45 minutes before they go to work and before we get our day started.
It's awesome.
It's such a great
I
tradition.
love it. It is. It's marvelous. That warms my heart. I truly love that.
It is so cool. And it's a unique tradition.
And it's cool that we're able to do that because we live down here. Close to them now.
It's incredible that how many of our friends are in this area. A really unique opportunity for us to stay connected, and that's nice. Because life gets busy, and that we take time to do that, and they take time to do that. So that's another memory.
I was gonna say one of my favorite coffee spots, Java Hut in Ferndale.
Java Hut.
Liz
is awesome, and
yeah.
Liz and Nikki.
Yep.
Those are the two ladies that they're so nice.
The inside's cool. They got couches in there.
Nice patio.
Awesome little patio. Java Hut's a very cool coffee shop. That's the one that we frequent. So, like, we have our favorite places around here, but there's a lot of places we haven't gone to. If you guys are, around this area, you have any suggestions?
Bars, coffee shops, anything
for us to check out, let us know. We're always down to check out new establishments.
I got a couple more things. Do you have anything else?
I just had favorite memory, the bars that we like to go to. Recommendations, which I just said. What do you got?
So one thing we did that I had a blast on, we both did, is somebody who else was a podcast guest, Felicia Fullwood. We went on and yes, this is one of her photos that she gifted us, and I have another one in my room. She is a Detroit-based photographer, incredibly talented and doing extremely well. She took us on an adventure because one of her things is she explores abandoned buildings and photographs them. Took us across downtown Detroit, and we explored abandoned buildings. It was so much fun.
That was a blast.
And we went to a Coney Island, my favorite. Then we went to, for the first time,
Belle Isle.
Belle Isle.
Watch the sunset.
Beautiful. Got an amazing sunset. Got some great photos of that. Great video. Great time lapse. That was a very unique adventure. So thanks, Felicia. For
that was a fun-filled day in Detroit. Yeah, and that was like we haven't spent a lot of time in downtown Detroit yet, and we need to do that more.
Yep, I agree.
She's kind of like our guide to the city in Detroit.
Exactly. Yeah,
she knows it well. Speaking of Felicia and her picture that she gave us, I was going to do this earlier and I forgot. But we have our podcast wall. We're growing our podcast wall with gifts from people, and ironically enough, they've all been previous podcast guests.
Yeah, this is from Logan Vandenhavel.
Logan Vandenhavel made us this.
It's a longboard.
Yeah, it's a longboard. It's the same kid that made the little black keychain that we have, which we didn't sell, but he made the Skroove bottle opener too.
And our pinky rings.
And he surprised us with this, which is awesome. He just like, hey, I got something for you guys.
He made us a longboard.
Yeah. So that's super sweet. And then Taylor Nagel, I think episode 15, the sign painter from What's Your Skroove, made us that. He surprised us that when we came and did our podcast with him.
Yep.
So yeah, we're building this little wall over here with little goodies that our friends that have, we worked with, they're just our friends have given us.
It's fun.
So yeah, a little background on that.
Yeah,
I want to give a shout out to those people. So thank you for those gifts. We really appreciate them.
Yeah, it's that we do, and it dresses it up, and it's neat, especially because those people have been on the show. I don't know. This is unrelated. One thing that I think is hilarious since we moved down here, we have not taken beer cans back.
Oh my gosh!
Once. No, and you have to imagine how much 4 guys who have regular house parties, how many beer cans.
Well, how much money do you think we have in beer cans? $50? More than 500 cans?
Yeah, between 50 and 100, closer to 50.
Really?
Dude,
I'm telling you.
The only reason I know is because they'd stack up in college, and I know about them.
We have to save those up. We've been talking about what we're going to spend it on.
They're under our stairwell, and I don't know how they don't stink yet. I think it's because just where they're placed in the house.
Yeah. I mean, those things got sucked clean though.
Yeah,
there's no beer left in them.
So that'll be a fun episode. I mean, I want to vlog that. That'd be a blast taking all those back.
We'll definitely do that. But I think we put that money in from all the cans we've taken back. Have a little kitty. Save up for a kegerator.
It's a dream of mine.
Have a kegerator. Have a keg 24/7 in this place.
I would love that. If anybody's selling a kegerator, get a hold of us.
Yeah. If you got a used one that you don't want anymore, you got a new kegerator, but your old one still works.
Get a hold of us.
Yeah, hit us up.
It would probably go right here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So there's that. Hang on, I'm perusing my notes here.
I think Zach's losing in Tiger Woods PGA.
Yeah. One of my favorite things that's happened since we've moved out. Very impressionable. We were in Ludington, Michigan on a sabbatical, if you will. Just a little trip.
After Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, we had the van. We said, why not? Went out on a whim. Went out to Ludington. Staying at Ludington State Park. And we talk about this in the vlog, but I think it's worth reiterating in the podcast.
This was very cool.
Because it's so cool. So one of our all-time favorite books, I think it's both of our all-time favorite books.
Yeah.
Kenny showed it to me. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Yeah.
I don't know how you say it. It's some, I don't know. Anyway, and the whole book is about discovering your personal legend and paying attention to the signs of the universe and deciding that life can be an adventure or not. And just going after your dream. But it's a fictional story, but it's so deep. I mean, I'm not even kidding when I say every page probably has at least 2 or 3 sentences in it that you could really sit there and think about. I don't know if it was intentional, but almost there are so many deep, like double, triple meaning metaphorical lines in that book that just really like make my mind think, and I love it.
And it's a super easy book to read.
Oh, the first 2 days.
Yeah, when I first read it, once I bought it and ordered it, took me like 2 days to read it.
You could read it in a day.
It's so easy, and it's so great. It's a great story, but the lessons in it are phenomenal.
It's worth rereading 1,000 times.
I think I've read it 5 times so far.
It's so great. I started it again. It's incredible. But
anyways,
so we meet this old lady. I mean, not old lady, older than us. I guess anybody who's older than us is old. And I was inside.
Linda.
We were at this diner, getting surprised. We love diners and getting a bunch of work done. And I was still going. Kenny had finished his stuff. Do you want to tell it from your perspective?
Yeah, I can tell it. So Tyler was getting finishing up, and I was done, and we're getting ready to head back. It was getting dinner time. Sun was setting, and we wanted to go catch the sunset on the dunes. So I'm outside, and I threw in my headphones. Wanted to listen to some music, and then just wanted to kind of just do some thinking, get inside my head. It's kind of like looking up at the sky, and it was a beautiful day. And I'm sitting on a bench, and there's these two benches outside of the place. And I'm sitting on a bench, and I see another lady come and sit on the bench next to me, and I don't really think much of it. I'm sitting there, like, listening to my music, just looking up at the sky, got my sunglasses on, just kind of thinking in my own little world. And I can hear her trying to get my attention. And I just really wanted to be by myself for a little bit. So I was like, she's probably some crazy old lady, and, she'll leave me alone if I act like I don't hear her. And she keeps trying to get my attention. And she ended up like clapping her hands. I was like, all right, I can't keep ignoring her. She clapped her hands. I'm like, hey, what's up? And she goes, do you know how to get to Pentwater, I believe it was, which I knew where it was because we were looking at the map trying to figure out where we wanted to go. Mm-hmm. And it's just a town south of Ludington. And I was like, I'm not from around here. I don't know how to get there, but I can like look it up on my map. I said, I'm pretty sure it's south of here. I don't know what road you take, and I can help you. She goes, oh, that's fine. My friend has some cottages there or whatever I'm going to stay at. And I go to like kind of put my music back in, but I take out my headphones, and I decide just to talk to her. Like this lady obviously wants to talk. Let me hear her story. I'm waiting on you. Right. Like, what else better do I have to do? So she starts talking to me about why she's up here, because she's from Chicago, and kind of gets into some like deeper philosophical.
She started talking about stuff that I don't hear my peers, friends, contemporary. Like,
it's this is stuff that people usually talk about.
It's like a deep, intimate conversation that you have with somebody that you really are willing to share your mind with. And
she started talking about Tony Robbins and this German philosopher named.
Well, that's about when I came out.
So Goat or something like that.
Right after they started talking, I had came out and I saw him talking. I was like, all right, kind of let's go. I was inching away. And then I was like, all right, be in the moment. Take what this is worth. Just enjoy. You have nowhere to really be.
Yeah. She started talking to us about how, dreaming big, larger than life, and daring to ask the universe for what you really want.
Following your passion, like thinking things into fruition, just like, always having your aspirations in the back of your mind, and just, what's the term I'm looking for? Like bringing thoughts to, there's a term that we've used, but manifesting.
Yeah, manifest.
Manifest,
yes.
like, your thoughts into reality, and just stuff you don't hear people talk about ever, let alone a stranger on a bus stop that you don't even know, and why she felt the need to share this. And she shared her whole life story. She lived this incredible, extraordinary life, and she was telling us about how she she goes, I want to live to travel the world, and I want to do that for a living, but that's impossible.
Well, sorry to interrupt, but the biggest thing she was telling us about was she's like, I don't really believe in this, but my college professor told me to do this. She goes, if you want something bad enough in life, envision it. Say it to yourself. Picture it on a TV in front of you. Really paint a picture in your head of what you want.
Right.
And she goes, I never believed it. She goes, I did it.
She goes, and I still don't.
She goes, and I still don't believe in it. But she goes, I was on a cruise, and I wanted to meet, tall, dark, and handsome man that was smart, spoke a bunch of different languages. Mm-hmm. And she goes, all right, she goes, I did that. I envisioned it. I goes, this one's for you, whatever her professor's name was. And she did it. So she's walking the length of the cruise ship. And for whatever reason, she gets drawn into this room with this piano player and ends up talking to him. And he's talking to her about this book, and she read the book. It was by some French author, and she corrected him on the pronunciation of the author's name, so he knew that she read it. End up talking to her. The rest of the crew, the cruise, they
just became really close and really good friends.
And she goes and her thing was I want him to fall in love with me head over heels for me, and he loved her. Mm-hmm. She goes, he wouldn't stop calling me when I came back to the States, and she's back at her regular 9-to-5 job, and she's like, I want to travel the world. She goes, Linda, what do you want to do? What would you want to be doing right now? And she goes, I sat there and I thought, she goes, I would just love to travel, but she goes, that costs so much money, and that's so just far out. It's out of reach. But she goes, I'm just gonna do it. She goes, for my professor again, I'm gonna envision me just traveling the world.
And then
This piano player keeps calling her and wanting to hang out with her, and I guess he was a super phenomenal piano player and could travel around on any cruise ship because they all wanted him. So he goes, Linda, I can go on any cruise ship I want. I would love for you to travel the world to get a +1. Would you want to come with me? So she said for like 2 or 3 years,
yeah.
she traveled the world on all these different cruise ships with this piano player and got to travel. And she just asked the universe for it, and it brought it to fruition.
Right, and it's really
so
not
cool.
that. It's not. I'm not saying everything's that easy, but like just because I've heard this before, and it's but a lot of this things she said we do agree with, but it's kind of this. She was kind of talking about more like the secret style approach, a little more abstract stuff, but the general viewpoint was dare to dream and stuff, and it's just stuff you don't hear from normal people and strangers, let alone friends, and then we hear it from this lady.
And being open to the universe and its signs
Right.
that it is trying to guide you through.
Yep, in full circle, bring the point
Exactly.
back to
Yeah.
the alchemist. Very early in the book, you'll read it. This doesn't spoil anything. The boy is heading to a town, and he wants to be. He's going to see this girl that he's really excited to see again. And he's a shepherd, not really relevant, but he has his one book. He's very a stoic sort of lifestyle, very simply as a shepherd. He's got his one book and his little flask of wine and his flask of water, and he gets to this town before the town he's heading to, and he's sitting on a bench, and he wants to read his book so he can finish it and swap it out for a new book when he gets to the next town.
Just kind of wants to be by himself.
Wants to be by himself. He's sipping his wine. It's a beautiful day. He doesn't want to be bothered. Old man comes up to him and asks him for a sip of his wine. And he's kind of annoyed because he just wants to be by himself. Gives him his wine, hoping to steer him away. Then he asks him about the book, and this takes place long ago, and not everybody could read. And he's just assuming this crazy old guy doesn't even know how to read, and kind of says something, and just to brush him off. And the old guy goes,
Well, he goes, "What book you reading?" And the boy hands him the book.
"Yeah."
Just for him, so if he knew how to read, he might be somebody that could hold a conversation.
And
so
then
he
the
gives him
old
the book
man
to read the
said
title.
that, "Oh, this book isn't any good."
Yeah.
And then the boy was like, "Oh, he can read. He's read this book." And then that's about all you need to know. It turns out the guy is a super important character. But the point is, this is a turning point in this book where he was ignoring almost eerily identical to what happened to us. And then this guy proceeds to give this boy some really very similar advice to what she was telling us. It was so bizarre how it happened and lined up and how eerily similar it was. And
The relevance to the boy in the Alchemist.
And the camera stopped.
Did it? I'll go restart it.
It was just incredible. And that was one of the most one of my favorite things that's happened so far. And it's
After we got done, I remember thinking to myself, like, while she was trying to get my attention, and after she got my attention, I was like, this reminds me of the boy in the Alchemist.
But you didn't tell me that.
No.
And then I said,
And
dude,
we got to the van, and we're like,
yes.
dude, that was so bizarre, crazy. And we're like, that both reminded us of
and then I said that
story of the
without you
Alchemist.
saying it to me, so it both resonated with us. And then I was thinking about it, and one of my biggest takeaways was not the advice she gave, because, it was cool to hear that, but it was to live in the moment and not brush people off.
Not be in a hurry.
Not be in a hurry and slow down. I think that's super important. And then I got thinking that wasn't the first time that's happened to me. Not quite that specific, and I had not read the book at this time, but spring break of 2017, we were in Fort Lauderdale staying at a place called the Red Carpet Inn, which was a lot nicer than it sounds. Sounds pretty grungy, but they had a bar at the hotel. And I was sitting there, and a bartender, probably a lady in her late 30s, like cute foreign girl, started talking to me, and we just got talking, and she's like, wow, you have this energy about you. You have this persona about you. She goes, you're going to do really big things. And then she started talking about this. Then she started talking about the same stuff this other lady talked to us about you have to bring things into fruition, manifest your thoughts, the same stuff this other lady was talking about, and told me all this. And she goes, tell me what you need, and I'll start envisioning it for you and keep you in the back of my mind even after you leave. I'll never see you again, but I'll try and help you and bring this into light for you. And it's just super strange. And Kenny showed up and sat next to me, and she's like, oh, you guys are brothers, which obviously isn't that hard to determine, and she's like, yeah. And she started talking about the two of us and how we were both met for these great things. And then this was before she even asked us what we did. Then we told her. She goes, well, that makes sense. That's your guys' destiny. But it was strange to even, I had that epiphany that, wow, this happened to me once before. And I think her name was Susanna, something like that. But just be open to things, be open to talking to people, never brush things off or be in too big of a hurry as a takeaway. So yeah, full circle. That was one of my favorite memories, and just
That was cool.
Easily couldn't have gone that way, but it did, and something special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're just trying to be present, which is something I've been trying to work on, and almost didn't happen. But universe works in mysterious ways, and Linda was super cool. It was a great conversation.
It was awesome.
Cool memory, and she gave us some great advice. I really enjoyed talking to her, and it was a very unique experience. It was definitely different. It was something very cool. So do you want to go to the next segment, questions, or where are you at?
Nope, that's all I got.
So we posted on Skroove's Instagram, our personal Instagrams, and Snapchat, asking for questions, and we want you guys to send us in questions, anything funny, interesting, far out, whatever you want us to answer on the air. We'll give you a shout out for your question. You can email us at whattheduck@skroovco.com. You can DM us on Facebook or Instagram, comment on a YouTube video or any of our videos with some questions. So submit some questions. But the question we got today is from Julia Lucido, and she said, what is the number one thing on your bucket list? And I kind of had to think really hard about this. And the ironic thing is I actually have a bucket list in my wallet from February 2017. I dated it. And there's about 15 things on it. And I really don't think about a bucket list that much. Or I don't even look at it. I forgot it was in there until Julia asked me this. But I think I have to go with the number one thing that's on there. Because I really don't think about a bucket list that much. But the first thing I wrote on there is, my ultimate goal and dream is to build Skroove into the happiest, greatest, and most successful brand and company in the world. And that's the number one thing on my bucket list. That's the ultimate goal and dream for me and us in this company, is to build this into the greatest and happiest brand in the world. So that is my actual number one thing on my bucket list, which probably isn't the answer you wanted to hear. But I have other things on there, so I'll fill you in on those. Really want to surf in Hawaii, California, visit Australia, New Zealand. Ever since I saw them on Rocket Power and them going over there, I thought that'd be such a cool trip. Go over there. I think it'd be really sweet to climb Mount Everest. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they got making a movie on there, entering it into a Sundance film festival, because we've always talked about that, making a movie. That'd be so cool. But yeah, just building Skroove into the brand that we want it to be is ironically the number one thing on my bucket list, and chipping away at it every day. We'll see where it takes us. So that's my bucket list answer. Tyler, what's the number one thing on your bucket list?
Yeah, so I don't have one thing. You pretty much summed it up. I don't have these things I just are lurking in the back of my mind. There are subsets of things that will and need to happen in order for me to be fulfilled, for Skroove to be the greatest brand. But it's basically the same thing you said. But it's just growing Skroove to its full potential. But there are so many things within that process that need to be done for me. For one, I really want to write and produce a movie. Under Skroove, I want to have our own film production company. So we can just put out all of our wacky ideas. I think that would be so much fun, and act and be in the movies and be in our own movies. I think that would just be a ton of, and I think that would be such a cool dynamic of a brand. Obviously we want to get into the music scene one day.
I added that to it.
And have a record label and sign artists and, enable again. All this comes full circle. The movies, the reason we could do the movies because we can enable actors and musicians to do the scores. And getting the music scene is to enable musicians, enable and inspire. I mean, that's basically our motto. To enable and inspire. That's what Skroove is about, and that we can do it through music and movies. And another thing is, we want to have our dream studio, which I don't think is too far. It's probably one of the closest things to happening out of some of these things.
Like Skroove HQ.
Yeah, to where it's Skroove HQ, and we live there, and we have a podcast studio, and we have a performance stage where we can have parties and bands, and we have a recording studio for music, and we have a movie screening room where we can do that, and it's also a storefront, and there's also
boxing gym,
a boxing gym and jiu-jitsu, so we can roll, and a gym, and
sauna,
a sauna,
yoga room,
an ultimate health experience, so people can come,
so
and our
sweet.
guests can come and stay with us and live with us for as long as they want, and a musician's coming through or a band, they can stay with us. So I mean, that is just a taste of what goes on in our minds. Kind of, even if you look back to the beginning of the podcast, what I said, that it was a dream come true to move down here, but it's just a taste, and it's just a start, and there's so much more that we want, and that's a little glimpse into our minds of some of the things that we have on the back burner that we're working every day towards getting to.
Absolutely. Well, it feels good to be back.
It feels good to be back, Julia. That was a great question.
Yeah, that was an awesome question. Thank you, Julia.
One thing I have is a frequently asked question. People ask about gear. We've been low on inventory for some time. Summerline, we're releasing. It will drop very soon, probably within the next
week, hopefully.
Yeah, week, 2 weeks.
Week or two, yeah.
So that'll be coming soon. So
it's like a summer one line. It's
right.
It's kind of small, but we came out with some gear, and it's
by
been
popular
it's been
demand, we're
too
bringing
long.
back Choose Happy stuff. So we're coming out with 2 shirts, and then we're coming out with 2 hats, and there's gonna be some more stuff after that. So we're gonna be progressively releasing stuff rather than bombshelling you guys with everything at once. So shirts are coming, hats will follow close behind. So for everybody who's asking, stay tuned.
Yeah, and we're trying to be more consistent with coming out with gear.
Yep.
But just the last couple months have been a little crazy just getting down to here, and that's why we didn't do the podcast. We're trying to figure it out. There's a lot of excuses why we just didn't do it, but we finally started the podcast back up and got some gear coming for you guys. So get ready. We're making moves.
Yep.
Having fun. And thanks for tuning in.
One more thing. So episode 1 of What's Your Skroove, which has got a special place in my heart because it went so well.
Yeah.
There were no hiccups for being the first episode.
Just,
and our guest
that was
great.
a blast.
And we had so much fun. Really an excellent
Probably the coolest
value.
venue we shot in.
Coolest venue, coolest backdrop, and a great story. And now it's kind of coming to fruition is Randy Patino is a Golden Gloves boxing champion and purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I believe I'm getting this right. And he's now up and left and is traveling the world.
MMA.
He's a professional MMA fighter and is traveling the world. He won his first fight. Is he had 2 or just 1?
I can't remember. I
think
don't
he
know.
won the second one. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did.
He's undefeated regardless, whether it's 1 or 2. And he's traveling the world, just practicing and
training,
learning
Hawaii,
martial arts. And
Thailand, I think New
now
Zealand.
he's over in an Asian country of sorts. Super proud of him. Follow him on Instagram. I'm gonna look him up right now. I believe it's Randy_Riot, but I want to give. You need to follow this guy. He makes posts all the time of his journey, his story. This is literally, in my opinion, a success story. You have a guy who. When did we start the podcast? November, October.
November, October, 2017.
Okay, so we started the podcast, half a year ago or whatever. Here's the guy, 8-9 months later, who. He goes, I want to get away from my job. I want to go pro. I want to make the commitment. I know what I have to do. He did it. He's doing it. He's living it. You need to follow him and stay up to date.
So cool.
I'm so proud of him. And I'm going to look him up right now.
Good shit, Randy.
Yep, Randy_Riot. His name's Randy Patino. Go follow him. Check him out. Send him some love. And he's repping our gear, too.
Yeah,
So,
he is.
That's cool. Yeah, yep. He is a purple belt. That was right. All right, guys, that's it for us.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. There'll be more of these shows to come, weekly, then plus more potentially.
Subscribe on the iTunes app.
Yeah, subscribe.
That'd be huge for us.
And leave a rating. And if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, that would be a huge plus too.
Wherever you're listening to this, if you can repost on Facebook too, share it. That's
shares, likes, subscribes, upvotes, anything you can give us, guys. That goes a long way. So,
and submit questions.
Yeah,
we're
anytime
doing
you have
this
questions.
weekly, so We'll be answering questions.
Probably be
weekly.
answering. So, side note, we got a lot of questions. So, thank you to everybody who submitted questions. We're probably going to be just answering 1 or 2 questions each episode, and it's going to be stuff that we can kind of elaborate on, like the bucket list. We want these kind of deeper
Yeah.
or really funny questions that we can really run
Go
with,
off on- yeah,
rather than
yeah.
the rapid fire style that we were doing before. We
Yeah.
want something that we can dive into a little thicker. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah, and we're cutting out like the live for now, just because it's very distracting. It was a lot for us to do, just as us two
We felt like we couldn't
engage fully.
and like really get into our thoughts and ideas that we were thinking of, because we were getting pinged with questions and there was always stuff going on. So we felt like we weren't at 100% with the information we were giving out. So when we get that intern, maybe we'll bring back the live stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, guys.
Thank
we
you,
will
guys.
see you next time.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All episodes of What's Your Skroove are available on iTunes. And if you like the show, be sure to rate, subscribe, and leave a comment. As always, there are free stickers on our website, www.skroovco.com. We'll see you guys next time.